When Kanye West asked how much was the earth and they canceled $1 billion deals with him over that tweet, it sent me spiraling when they told him that he couldn't purchase the earth. And he said, then money is fake and I want out. And that was the greatest play of all time in my book. So I'm going to use rough estimate numbers here because I don't know everything. Let's say that what it boils down to is social media and all media outlets are owned by, we're going to just use the number roughly 5 billionaires. And there's always a corporation behind a corporation behind a corporation. And I could sit here and take you down all the receipts and tell you that once you get to the final hour, it's going to be roughly about 5 people. And they're not the elite. The elite probably live in a camper. There's supposedly 150 of them, and I doubt they value money at all because they fully understand that the only thing that is power is knowledge. So if God is the Alpha and the Omega, and you guys have been reading this like it was past tense, I think that you need to read this like it's current events. Understanding that when they control all the media, they controlled what was written in here. So you have to decipher the truth inside of your own heart. You're going to have to break it down and make it make sense for yourself. But I think that everybody in America should start with page 1 where it says there is an herb that God has provided for everything. And from that, I take that you're not supposed to be out here unaliving animals and eating them for absolutely no reason. I would say that if winter comes and the sun falls out of the sky, which I predict something, winter is coming. It's going to get dark here. And I don't mean evil. I don't mean, we've had enough of that. There's always going to be a yin and a yang. There's going to be a balance to good and evil. It's not always going to be all good and it's not always going to be all bad. There has to be a balance, and there has been absolutely none. So I'm going to spend every day trying to balance what I can and teach what I can. But if you're having bad karma and you're reading this like it's past tense, it's probably why. So like I said, God had said somewhere along the way that everything you need to know is right here. But if your mind is clouded with chemicals and caffeine and high fructose corn syrup and even high blood pressure medicine, you don't know what's in any of this shit. Why do you trust anybody with your precious body but the ground? I can't stress it enough. My life was torture until I figured out that God doesn't want anything inside of my precious body but what he provided in this ground. Weed included, I think, is what you guys don't seem to understand. Weed is a seed and it grows in the ground with the herbs that he provided with everything else. They were treating over 100 separate illnesses. The U.S. Pharmacopoeia is now the FDA. That doesn't make you mad. It doesn't make you mad that they now call the United States prison system the USP and change the name to the FDA. I mean, it's disgusting what these 150 elite kickback doing. I'm sure that they have money, but they fully understand that money is fake. I'm quite positive they eat to survive and they probably smoke some really good weed. I've never been so intelligent, so stable, and so in tune with God and my dog and just everything, myself, since I started consuming weed. It's not to say that you have to smoke it. You need to eat it. If you don't want to order it from my website, if you think I'm trying to sell you something, then order it from a Farm Bill. Google Farm Bill CBD or Farm Bill Rick Simpson oil and order it from someplace else so we could eliminate that stupidity. But if you want to use a discount code, FedMindy100, lowercase, you can order the Rick Simpson oil, which is the total, it's the whole plant. I mean, you guys, I used to always be like, well, it's weird that weed will cure all this. And so I figured once I woke up, I'm like, it's got to be that weed used to cure it all. And then they made modern medication to replace God's herb. I mean, I could go through history and show you, doctors and pharmacies used to hang all this. It's disgusting. It makes me sick to think I spent 31 years addicted. And while I never read the Bible, there was a book missing out of it. Enoch was not in the Bible. So I would have been, it just would have been an incomplete life for me. I would have been out here doing, I don't know what, I couldn't get into it. And maybe because I needed that book. Now, while I have to fully understand that the people in charge of the media are also in charge of what went into this book, I believe the Catholics have 33 books or chapters, whatever they are called, and another religion has 27. You're going to have to read it and decipher everything in it. Is this good for me? Is this what God would have wanted? Am I spinning this the wrong way? But what I'm very good at, the FBI labeled me a master manipulator, because what I'm good at is, ever since I was little, I would, how kids watch, they're autistic and they watch their favorite movie on repeat. And you guys think it's weird. No. They want to know what every word meant. They understood the movie the first time that you made them watch it. They understood it fully. Now they're trying to figure out, why the fuck do you think this is such a good movie? So they're going to cycle that shit on repeat, bro. And they're going to learn every word. Oh, but there's a fentanyl scheduled 1. No. There's a fentanyl scheduled 2 also. So something's not right here. So where's the fentanyl coming from? If fentanyl is outlawed in Mexico, then it can't be coming from Mexico, because fentanyl is only still legal in the United States of America, and it's coming from Maryland, Schedule 2. You can still go to a doctor right now and get that. And then if you understand the Adderall game, is that I was doctor shopping, getting Adderall from several people, and Xanax and all the things, turning one into insurance and turning one into cash. But I was also going to Mexico and walking right into a Mexican pharmacy and purchasing all the Adderall, Xanax, Vicodin, and everything that I wanted, which is still a thing today. If you order it and sell it to your friends, you're definitely going to go to prison for that shit. So, that's what autistic people do. We are not ever going to let you give us 3 pieces of a 4-piece puzzle. We want all the pieces. And if there's a different way that puzzle piece can fit in there, we're going to figure that shit out. Because you're not going to sneak up with some extra word later on. We're autistic. We're going to break it down to the fullest. I had BHD with sensory issues, so I can't speak for every autistic person. But, they changed the name from BHD to autism. It's, and so it wasn't until I went to federal prison and realized I was court ordered to take medication that maybe there's something in the medicine that they don't want me to wake up from, and you're standing in line at the pill line, rocking back and forth like a psychopath, talking to parrots on your shoulder. I mean, you guys know I did a face dive off of, my eyes look really pretty. So I did a face, that was wild. I did a face dive off of the bunk in CCA. Is my mic on? And busted my arm in several places, had rods coming out of my arm, had, the whole cast around my arm, and they gave me ibuprofen. So when they operated on me, they gave me a dilaudid drip, but aside from that, I had ibuprofen. So, once you go through all that pain, and then I had all 4 of my children, they told me I didn't get there in time, so they did not give me no epidural, bro. What's up with that? No opiates. They told me I was allergic to that shit, and I believed them, because the one time that they said they gave me morphine, my eyeballs would not shut. My eyelids would not shut, bro. No. They're not going to shut, and they're going, and I said, don't ever, I don't know what it was. It's almost like, because I see people getting all rocked the fuck out. I did Suboxone one time, and I was, my eyes were, I was dead to the world, bro. I was not awake. Hell fucking no. Did you know Suboxone? The Sacklers make Suboxone, which all the names are fake, but the same people that killed my mother with Oxycontin turned around and made Suboxone. And now they prescribe it to cancer patients, which I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but my nose itches. What's it mean when your nose itches? So cancer, bone cancer is the most painful way to die, they say. So I'm going to end this at 9 minutes, but I'm probably not. I'm just going to keep talking. So, for me, the PSYOP, like I said, was just, I was on all this medicine. And then I got these gummies off the internet, and they got shipped to my house. And I thought that had to be lame, because I thought THCA was lame. No. Oh, no. As a matter of fact, you should only eat a quarter of one. And I had a girl call me the other day, and she's like, I only ate a quarter of one. I don't know how to undo it. I have to get my grandkids, and I don't know how to get. I don't know. You guys got weird shit mixed in your blood with it and stuff, but you're gonna be fine, bro. Take less. I told you to be careful. And she's like, you cannot take it. You can't. By the way, you cannot take it back. You can add more to drugs. You cannot take away from that shit. It's highly recommended that you understand that you can always add more, but you cannot fucking take that gummy back and you're gonna vomit. But you're never gonna want whiskey again. I mean, you would be an idiot if you did. True idiot. It'll never get you there, bro. Bye. Love you.